more news with Jack Benton. I'm Sonny Adamson. Good night.
That's a wrap. Good job, Sonny.
Rick, it was awful. I completely forgot that story on the transit system, and I promised the mayor's office I'd cover it. I went from page 6 to page 8 and never batted an eye.
Don't worry about it, Jack. We'll get it tonight.
Do you really think you can?
Sure.
Jack Benton. I'm Sonny Adamson. Good night.
That's a wrap. Good job, Sonny.
Rick, it was awful. I completely forgot that story on the transit system, and I promised the mayor's office I'd cover it. I went from page 6 to page 8 and never batted an eye.
Don't worry about it, Jack. We'll get it tonight.
Do you really think you can?
Sure.
Oh, Jack, you know that story on the fare increase? Well, I forgot it completely. Do you think you could put it on the 11 o'clock screen? Oh, thanks.
Look, don't be too hard on yourself. The place was a madhouse.
So I heard. You deserve congratulations for keeping it cool.
Well, I certainly didn't feel very cool.
Well, let me take you to Bigelow's for an unwinder.
No, thank you. You know, I just can't believe that Stephanie allowed that to happen. She's the one that made the rule about no one but the cast and crew being allowed on the set. It was like a 3-ring...
Look who's here!
Jim?
Three look like you have to have a good time.
Hey, that is exactly why we are here, Lily.
Well, you want to have it with the other pals over there?
Well, I would love to. How about that table right over there next to our buddies, huh?
Always save that table for my best customer.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Oh, son.
You two look like you've been up to no good. What have you been doing? Having fun. At least we were having fun until Nicole started getting serious.
Yeah? What did Nicole ever get serious about? Video games. She's become insufferable.
Oh, you're just jealous. She's a cutthroat player. Better than you, Sue? Oh, well, it's just beginners. We were hustled in a big way. That's all I did was ask Donna to get some video games to fill up all those empty rooms that we've got at the house.
All right. Throw a video party.
Yes, to which you were all invited.
Nicole, I want to be there when you ask Donna.
Well, I'm going to do it tonight if she's up when I get in.
Hey, I'm hungry! Hungry! It's been a long time.
Who's up for dancing? Come on, dance.
I am.
Let's go.
Hey, you got your work cut out for you now. Be careful, okay? All right.
Come on. I haven't seen Sally have this much fun in ages.
Yeah, she seems so relaxed.
3 green beans, 3 salad with the house, and 3 no dessert.
That's it for now.
Okay.
Thanks, Billy. Okay. Now that we got that taken care of, how about some more dancing? How about you?
How about
I want
you? I want you. I'm game.
Let's go. Who else is game?
No further.
Dance with me. Well, I guess that leaves us, Miss Shirley.
Jamie, could I talk to you for a minute?
Not if it's serious.
It's semi-serious.
Oh. Okay, but if it gets too heavy, we dance, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's about writing.
Writing. What's the matter? You got a writer's block? Everybody gets it. Don't worry about it.
Not exactly. I was wondering how you got the idea for the novel you're writing.
Oh, it was easy. I went to see Gone with the Wind. I thought, hey, this is going to make a terrific play.
Jerry, I'm serious.
Let's see. I wanted to write a mystery, so I figured out what I thought would be an interesting, logical, reasonable, and I hope exciting plot. No, I wove a love story into it, too. I had the prosecutor fall in love with the defendant.
Well, you don't know anything about love.
So what? That's easy. That's research. Hard part is developing the characters. You know who they are, what they want, what they're going to do, that sort of thing. And once you know that, they sort of lead you to a conclusion. The end. Simple.
For you.
What's the matter? You stuck for a storyline?
I was, but now I think I'm starting to figure something out.
Well, I tell you, just stick with what you know. You're going to be fine. Ted?
Please, I want to leave.
Sure. Lily. Listen, sweetheart, we've changed our mind. We're going to make it another night.
Was it something I said?
No. You were wonderful. We realized that we're not really hungry.
Well, maybe you want to sit at the bar, have a drink.
Another time.
Okay, I'll look forward to it.
Hi, Lily.
Can I get your table?
Hi, Lily.
Roy,
How are you?
you alone?
Well, I'm not supposed to be.
Did you ever fight?
No, we didn't have a fight, but Henrietta's mad about something. I mean, really mad.
Well, you know that woman has some temper.
Well, she's not the only one, Lily.
What'd she tell you?
She didn't tell me anything, but when I mentioned meeting here, she almost went through the roof. Said she wouldn't be caught dead in the same room with that Lily Mason woman, or words to that effect. And then she canceled our date.
Well, put a smile on your face, Roy Bingham, because this is your lucky night.
Did you two have words?
She had the words, honey. I had the pot, and I won.
Who you talking?
Just ask your pilot.
I really wish you'd try to get along with her, Lily.
Now, come on now, Roy. Now, you and Quinn and Thomasini, you asked me to give up the street, to take up the straight life, and I did. But now, honey, you asking the impossible.
I mean, you won't even try?
That woman drives me crazy. And I'll tell you the truth, Roy. Now, you look like you're ready to go around the bend, too.
I'm all right. I'm just tired. Been working hard.
Don't you? Relax. Sit at the bar and have a drink on me.
Maybe some other time, Lily. I think I'll go home and call Henrietta. See if she's calmed down.
Do what you gotta do.
I'll see you around.
This part of Another World was brought to you by Duncan Hines. It's moist, it's...
All right. One of the most memorable moments in television took place some years ago on the Johnny Carson show when Tiny Tim married Miss Vicky. Well, that was a case of two dogs getting married. So we thought we'd recreate that tonight and introduce you to a lady who has married a few dogs in her day. Of course, I've married a few in my day, too. Her name is Lee Day, and she marries dogs and married Tammy Faye Baker's dogs. Now, I want us to see an actual... Well, you tell us, what do you do, Lee?
I go and I marry animals. It could be a dog and a cat and a dog. It could be a mixed marriage. It could be a ferret and a chinchilla. And I marry these animals. And it brings pleasure to the owners and the pets. And it's something that I...
What kind of pleasure does it bring to a dog to be married to a cat?
The dog gets a lot of attention from people. The dog gets a lot of attention from the owners and from the friends. And it's a nice way of just caring about you and your pet. And giving you love.
That's nice. It's sentimental, but you know, I don't understand. I don't understand a little doggy marrying a pussy cat.
Well, I'm sure you married a pussy cat, right? Your wife's a pussy cat.
You bet, she is.
You don't think so?
She is.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, animals have rights too, right? They have a right to love.
Oh God! You ought to see our executive producer. He thinks a lot about animal rights. He's wearing a mink bow tie tonight.
Oh no. Oh,
right. Now, are you actually going to perform a wedding tonight?
I'm actually going to perform a wedding. It's going to be legal. Let me tell you how these two met.
It's going to be legal?
It's going to be legal by Lee Day.
In what state?
From the state of New Jersey.
Oh,
the Groomers
what a
Association
bunch of nutcakes they got in Trenton.
Thanks. That's a compliment. Let me tell you how these two met.
All right.
They met in the New England Kennel Club in Cedar Grove, New Jersey. And they fell in love, and they were in the cages next to each other, and now...
You know they fell in love?
They fell in love. We talked about it, and he was sort of happy, you know, in his blissful way. And he wants
Looks
to be
like
able
he's
to
already
drink
been on the honeymoon.
Yeah, right? He's a little like Ralph Cramden, you know? He's got that cute look on him.
And what's this little one here? What kind of a wow-wow is this?
That's a cat.
That's a cat?
He's best man.
He's the best man? Where's the other?
He's the best man.
Oh, well, who's marrying this dog?
Who's marrying the dog? I'm marrying the dogs.
You're being married to the dog? Huh?
Oh, I love it. You're right. The bride's going to come out like a...
Oh, the bride's going to come out. Shall we have a wedding, huh? All right, we'll have a wedding. Now, you take over the wedding.
Okay, let's have fun. Why don't you stand here and just
what am I doing?
officiate this thing?
What am I going to do? Give the duty away?
Sounds like a great idea. No. Okay. All right, why don't we commence with the wedding?
Notice this is a union shop. Only the stagehands can throw the rice. Hello, excuse me. Let me ask you.
Sure.
Who's marrying who?
He's marrying her.
He's marrying her?
He's marrying her.
Isn't he a little big for her?
Nah, he likes little women.
Likes little women?
Yeah, he thinks they're sort of cute.
She like big men?
Yeah, definitely.
What's he doing here?
Maid of honor.
That's the maid of the honor.
Maid of honor?
They're best friends. Okay, let's start with the wedding.
Tell us from the head.
Wedding? Go ahead.
Are we ready? This is serious now.
Oh, yeah.
We are here to join the St. Bernard and this Yorkie in holy matrimony.
Boy, that ought to work out.
If there's anybody here who has just cause why this wedding should not take place, either bark, speak, or meow now, or forever hold your peace.
Go ahead.
Gumby Hudson, do you take this Yorkie to be your lawful wedded wife, to lick and to pant from this day forward as long as you both shall live? Eliza Doolittle, do you take the St. Bernard to be your lawful wedded husband, to lick and to pant as long as you both shall live?
You sure that's a dog?
That's a
The
dog.
worst breath I've ever smelled on a dog in my life.
We'll give him a scope tomorrow. By the powers vested in me in the state of New Jersey, I do pronounce they are man and wife. Will you please exchange collars, please? And place them on the dogs' necks.
Now, where will they go for their honeymoon tonight?
They're going to Atlantic City. They're going to gamble all the dog
They're
biscuits
going
away.
to Atlantic City?
Yeah, they're going to
Are they
Atlantic-
going to have a bridal suite?
Yeah, I think on the 5th floor, I think.
Are they, this one's shaking like a leaf.
She's nervous about
Wouldn't you on your wedding night?
I would if I
Well,
was,
there's
if I was 4'1" and I was marrying someone 8'7",
You said
I'd
it.
shake too, pal. All right.
And you exchange collars?
Yeah, they did all that.
Okay.
It's all over now?
Now, it's
What-
almost over.
what-
There's a song that goes with them so they can go on the honeymoon all right.
All right.
Another bride, another groom, another sunny honeymoon, another good, another season.
We'll be back in a minute. Let's get out of here.
I think that after the show, I'm going to buy you ladies a good steak. I'll get you the right steak. If I don't get you the right steak, I might get a right hook, right? Because you're going to be hungry after the show, right? I just want to tell you. Now, what's the name of the show? Hal Stone's what? Hollywood.
Hollywood's Foxy Knockouts.
Hollywood's Foxy Boxers.
Yes.
Hollywood Hits, whatever it is. Well, I just want to tell you that I want to tell the audience that when I heard that these ladies have been on every important show, I got very envious and I tracked them down. Did I do a good job? Did I track you down good?
Very good.
And we're going to maybe I want to tell you, I've interviewed every important boxer through the years. Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, Cassius Clay, but this is the main event, right?
You're right.
The main event, okay? So give me one make-believe. Yeah, make-believe.
I've got 'em.
Let me see that mean, angry look, that mean, angry look. Okay. Sit down, have a good time. We're going to have a good time in a few minutes, right? We're going to do a cavalcade today of the Hollywood hits. We're going to meet today, ladies and gentlemen. This is a brand new show, of course. But you talk about, I repeat, a brand new show, but it's going to be a repeat soon. Today's show is so repeatable because my guest of honor is the amazing Randy. Man gets me my very highest ratings. One of the world's great TV attractions. Got in my studio today the keeper of the beat. Did I say good morning? I got the keeper of the bebop flame, a man who is loved and adored by the entire countryside, Mr. Barry Harris. I've got in my studio today, believe it or not, a lady with the most unusual profession. I might show you the current issue of Newsweek. It says here that people are shocked when they find out what she does for a living. She is a female barber. And we're going to maybe get a haircut. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get not just a haircut, get all the hairs cut. We're going to meet Don Gabor of How to Talk to the People You Love. We are going to today chat with a talk show lady whose name is Betsy Osman. Going to be kind of an anchor lady if she's in the mood to chat with all our people. But above all, I want to do one moment of nostalgia. We're on kind of leading lady. We're on kind of a leading lady streak lately. I want to thank Estelle Parsons for being a superb guest yesterday. I thought it might be fun to bring out a couple leading ladies of yesteryear. Here's a shot that was left in my studio a lot of years ago by Joan Davis, who later on, of course, did a TV series called I Married Joan, no longer with us. This was left with me by Paulette Goddard, reminiscing one day about her role in The Great Dictator with Charlie Chaplin. There she is on the set of The Great Dictator. That movie, of course, made about 1940. And about 49 or 50 years later, I say, welcome to the Joe Franklin Show. A big one today, a brand new episode, and it starts like this. And today, a magic one. It'll be electric, it'll be mesmerizing because of the amazing Randy and some other exciting people. Stay with me, be right back. My good friend Don Gabor, what do you think about that segment with the amazing Randy?
I was totally amazed, Joe, but I want to know how to become a magician.
Yeah, well,
you got to write a book.
What do you think? What do you think, really, Barry? You enjoy it?
Oh, yes, I enjoyed it.
What do you think, Kathleen?
I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Very fascinating.
Betsy?
He's a marvelous gentleman.
Really?
I'd love to see him do more magic, of course.
We'll do a whole prime-time special one day with that, right? Because when I first heard about the book, I got to tell you, when I first heard that he had a book out of revealing or squealing on other magicians' tricks, I thought that he might need a bodyguard. I thought maybe the magician might disappear. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But he said that he did it with permission.
Oh, no, with permission.
Really?
Well, sometimes one has to do that. You know, it's like the young have to have something to start with.
That's right.
You have to do it sometime. If you don't have a son to pass something on to, you know. So magician has to do it.
The man speaking right now, my friends, is known, we got a great panel here today. This man is known as the keeper of the bebop flame.
Bebop flame.
Composer, arranger, educator, Mr. Barry Harris performs all over the world, and he is always SRO, always sold out all over the world. And I am a fan of Barry Harris. And Barry, you had a little aggravation one time. You had a big page one story about your rent at your...
at my former theater.
Boy, the press was really behind you.
I know it, but you know, the landlords in New York aren't too much for cultural endeavors. You know, they don't believe in that kind of thing. The man wanted to double my rent, so what can you do?
Can't fight it, huh?
No,
How about naming for our friends out there a few of your favorite Barry Harris albums, either solo or with various organizations, Barry?
Well, live in Tokyo, I made one. I like the live ones. I made one live in Tokyo, live in San Francisco. And then I've made Barry Harris, plays Barry Harris, and quite a few.
This man, Don, is known as a cult figure. He's got a following out there. Now, before we meet Kathleen, I want to say that the talk show field is booming as never before. We've had many requests to introduce a lady named Betsy Osman.
Correct.
Spell that for me once, Betsy.
It's O-S-M-U-N, there's no D. No relation.
So many of her friends have said to us, you got to meet this lady because she got so much to offer. What do you feel, Betsy, is the responsibility? What's the accountability? What's the purpose of a good talk show hostess or a talk show host? What do you give us a little bit on your approach and what you think a talk show host should do on their program?
Well, I think they should make their guests feel comfortable, as you certainly always do.
Right.
Everyone was talking in the background about how good you are at that. So I try to do that. I'm not a journalist. I don't try to put people on the spot, like who cuts your hair?
John Allen, my boss.
See, they're ready, though.
So first and foremost, I mean, for aspiring talk show persons out there, what's their responsibility?
I would say a good quality to do. Have your hair look real good.
I mean, keep the public entertained, keep them
entertained.
keep
Do
informed.
do a little research on your guests.
Right.
For instance, Joe said to me today, "You're going to be interviewing this one, that one, the other." I said, "Great, terrific." Usually, I do a bit of research on
I
who
think
I'm
it's fun,
interviewing.
maybe, to try to give Mr. and Mrs. John Q. Public a part of the world or a part of their lives that normally nobody gets to see. What? Starting with Don Gabor, what's the secret of being a talk show host, a good one, the kind that you would like to watch on TV?
I think the best quality a talk show host can give to their public is to allow their guests to, be themselves and, like you say, be comfortable and share something that they have with the public that they might not normally get.
You think some of the shows are getting kinkier, a little bit?
Dirty. I think everybody's taste is fine. That's one thing that's great about television. You can turn to just about anything you want. It's good, though, that people can learn from something on television. That's the field that I'm in, and
Bravo.
I like to be able to share some of that.
Show you a book in a minute. Barry Harris, what do you like to watch in the way of a talk show host or program?
Well, I've sort of turned against a few shows because I also like to hear the music. And the music has sort of fallen apart on some of the talk show, shows. And but my favorite, like what I would like, is somebody like you. Really.
And my favorite is somebody like you. You are.
You guys are made for each other.
You are an elegant man. You are. You're fantastic.
Thank
man.
you.
Kathleen, what do you like to watch? What do you think a good talk show host or hostess should possess?
I think a talk show host should make the guests feel very comfortable, allow them just to be themselves, allow them to be funny, and sit back and listen. Let them do the talking.
Good.
I have a question for Betsy.
Please.
Go ahead.
How does it feel to be on the other end? Joe's interviewing you.
It's very interesting. I'm waiting to do more of it as we go.
What do you call your show and where is it seen?
It's called What's Going On. It's on Manhattan Cable, and I syndicate some of the programs out to different places. It's just booming in the last 6 months. I've been doing it 3 years, so it's taking it like a snowball effect. It takes time. I've had some good guests.
All right, why don't we start here with a man who is an expert on starting and controlling and understanding, I guess, what they call intimate conversations, right? The man's name is Don Gabor. And Don is a best-selling author. This is one of many, many books. And you've got to tell our friends, Don, what happens in How to Talk to the People You Love. Give us a thumbnail description.
A thumbnail description. Well, this book is about talking to people that you know well already versus a stranger you might meet on a train or even at a party. It's a book that helps people in difficult situations with friends, family, loved ones, where you have to use a little bit of tact and you have to share some of your feelings, but you have to use your head as well, so you don't trample on the other person's feelings or kind of make the conversation work against you rather than for you.
When did you become aware of your special gift, this knack you have of being a good conversationalist?
Well, I guess it came to me sort of as a teacher, and that's what I do. I teach classes in conversation, and I learned that it's a skill that can be learned. It's something that people learn along the way, and some people do and some people don't. And so through research and some of my own ideas, I've learned to teach people how to become better conversationalists.
I'm going to give it to my panel in a second. I just want to ask you before I lose that thought. What are the most serious blunders people make when they're trying to be, as you say, intimate or close or very warm or very confidential? What's the big mistake in trying to be intimate?
I think one of the big mistakes people make, they don't consider the other person's frame of mind or the other person's feelings as well. They might just come out with something. Some people think being honest is always the best policy, and honesty is fine, but you have to be aware of the other person, and sometimes less is more. You can just say what you're thinking and feeling, and that's fine, and then let the other person respond and see how he or she responds.
Don't be so honest. I've always said that myself. Our topic is the nearly lost art of conversation. Barry Harris, what do you want to ask or say of Don Gabor and intimate chatter?
Well, I'm listening to what he's saying, and it's really true.
Really?
I would imagine what he said is true. Because you have to be very careful with the ones you love the most. You must be the most careful with, in a way, and the most, I think it's all a matter of give and take between people with different heartbeats, so we have different backgrounds, different people take things differently.
And it is harder to express yourself to somebody that you love than it is to express yourself to a stranger, right? It's
Many times it is. There's more at risk.
Right.
If I say something to somebody I don't know that well and I blow it, well, it's not the end of the world. But if it's someone you're living with, your husband, wife, child, there are results that you may have to, deal with down the line. So it is important. And
Kathleen, even though we're going to talk about being a lady barber in a minute and show all your pretty publicity on the screen, what do you want to ask or say of...
I have a question, Don. How can you keep someone that you had a close relationship with, when you break up, how can you remain friends?
Well,
I don't believe you can.
Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. A lot of it depends on the people and how the people feel at the end of the relationship. I have a friend who's a friend of mine who has still an ongoing relationship, friendly relationship with his ex-wife, and that's fine. Some people don't want to tear open the wound, so to speak, again. So it really depends on the people. I think the best thing if you're going to break off a relationship is to do it in a way that leaves blame out of it. You're going your way, I'm going my way, for example. Our paths aren't going the same way now. So, leave it at that rather than you've done this to me and I, will never forgive you. That's when people, really have a tough time. But a lot of times people just do take different paths, and to try and make it work is really not the best thing.
I've got to get Barry Harris a copy of the sheet music of a song that Al Jolson used to sing. It's called "If We Can't Be the Same Old Sweethearts, We Can Just Be the Same Old Friends."
Old friends.
I mean that title, and I never believed that.
But I guess I don't remember that title.
No, but I don't think that could really happen in real life. I mean, if
probably
it's over, it's
could.
over, right?
Yeah,
Anyhow, Betsy, you're the talk show lady. What is your...
Okay, I think it does happen, by the way. I have a lot of friends who are... whatever, it takes a little doing, let's put it that way. Just a question, I don't know if it's in your book or not, but sometimes you run across people, that one's geared for your family and people you love, people you're attached to. Sometimes you do have a problem communicating with people, whether it be your child or a boss or a close friend or a family member. What do you do to break that? In other words, you don't know what the problem is, but somehow you're not connecting and you try. You might try to communicate, but there's something lacking. Is there a way to get through that?
Well, there is. In one of my classes for the Discovery Center, a woman told me that very same thing, and she said that for years she just couldn't have a conversation with her daughter, and I gave her a few tips, such as listen to what your daughter's saying and try, like Joe was just saying, you pick up on a word and then you follow up on it and show the person that you're willing to listen and that you want to understand rather than trying to push your feelings, your ideas on the other person. It's a way of, when I'm trying to convince you of my opinion, the best technique is to let you tell me yours first so that we exchange and share, because it's a two-way street. So that's the key to breaking through the barrier.
And you really have to be thinking of the other person.
Yeah, if you try and make it as a battle, no one gets anywhere.
If you want to know more about what this man advocates, you're going to look for a book in your stores called How to Talk to the People You Love by Don Gabor. As in Jaja?
As in Jaja.
No.
She's going to be here in January, buddy. She's going to be here in January.
You're not related.
Well, I always tell people I'm her mother, but nobody believes me.
He was ready for that one.
Now comes the lady with the interesting profession. This is our segment known as Interesting Profession Departments. Unusual occupation. I'm surrounded here by the publicity, thanks to her many, many fans, of Kathleen Giordano. But you're from Philadelphia. What brought you to east from Philadelphia, though?
I originally came to New York to pursue my modeling and acting career.
Right.
And I stayed in the city for about a year, went over to Europe for a few years, and then when I came back 3 years ago, I didn't know what to do, and I said, well, Kathleen, you can cut hair. Why don't you just go to school, put the time in, and just become licensed? This way I have something else underneath my belt, and that's exactly what I did.
Under your scissor.
Under my scissor and comb.
Are you from a barbering family?
My father has a big business on the University of Penn campus in Philadelphia,
Oh.
so it's in my blood. I grew up with it. And I also have a twin brother who's also a barber.
Wow. Are there many female barbers?
I don't think so,
No.
Joe. Most people, most women, they call themselves hairdressers, hairstylists. There are different techniques. And
Well, the difference between a barber and a hairstylist is about $25, right?
I say $50. It's money. No, not money totally, but barbers one thing they do, there's certain techniques, and they stay very basic. They don't change. Hairstylists adapt to the many changes in fashion and hair, and that's the difference. And that's why barbers had such a hard time at one point. Today, the salon that I work at, it's down in Wall Street.
Called?
John Allen's Men's Club, and it's at 54 Stone Street. And basically, all the men down there have a very conservative haircut. It's all going to change again. So if barbers want to stay in business, they have to adapt to the changes.
Mm-hmm. Betsy, you're the boss today. You're the boss lady. What do you want to ask or say? I could just read off the questions that are written out on some of these newspaper clippings, but I'd rather you do the work today.
Well, I was, thanks, Joe. I was just curious, you deal strictly with men.
Solely with men.
So this is a great profession for meeting men. Is that part of it, or?
Betsy, a lot of the men that come through the salon, some of them are very nice, and it is tempting to date, but I keep it solely business, strictly business.
What's the most haircuts you ever did on one day?
In one day, I would say 10 to 15,
Really?
15.
What are the perks? What are some of the perks in your
The
field?
tips.
Good tips?
The gifts that the clients send you. I get flowers a lot and little gifts.
Some of them give you the phone number, though? They say
A lot of times. A lot of, and they'll even call me the next day and say, "Oh, Kathleen, you did a great job. How about dinner?" I'm like, "Well, no, I'm really sorry, but
Right.
thank you anyway. I'm flattered."
Now, if you're discovered today for some of the acting or modeling that you came to New York for originally, would you consider it, or would you say?
I would consider it,
Right.
sure.
Barry, what do you want to ask or say?
I want to ask her
Yeah,
something.
please.
Let me ask you a question. Who's cutting all these hairstyles that's coming out now? You know, like the young people. What has brought this on? And I mean,
You mean
all this stuff? I mean,
the high tops
you know,
with...
it's almost like it reminds me of when we were young. You know, the mother couldn't afford the haircut, so she put the bowl over your head, and she cut around the bowl, and that was it.
Did she carve the initials in the head, too?
No, she didn't do that.
A lot of the young boys are walking around with carvings in their head. It's a fad. It's going to go out. It's just a fad.
Did a man ever walk in and say, "I need a total change. I'm on your hands. You decide." Really?
They've done that.
Really?
And
And do you
some
do
of the gentlemen that have walked in and they didn't want the change and I gave it to them were very upset. Like, what did you do to me? I'm not ready for this. I'm like, look how great you look.
You took the risk.
You took the risk.
What's another hazard of your business? How about, do you get scissor nicks ever already?
All the time.
Really?
Razor nicks. My hands are forever dry because I use the hair dryer. They're always in hot water, shampooing.
One day we'll do a live demo, right? We'll
You have to come down to the salon and we'll do the demo
Saloon?
down there.
We'll
The
do
salon.
Mr. Harris, invitation. You got something for me too?
Yes.
She's got it.
Because, Joe, you are a New York institution, and on behalf
I'm a legend in my own room.
on behalf of John Allen, Lenny, and myself,
Right.
we present this honorary membership to you for John Allen's Men's Club.
I'll go down.
You have to come down.
Now he has.
I'll get a good shoe shine because my shoes are black.
And a manicure.
Manicure too, that I need, right?
And a facial.
And a facial.
And a pedicure.
First I
the
need
whole
a
bit.
face.
Oh.
Barry Harris, invitation time. I want to be at your concert.
Okay, my concert is December the 15th on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
And it's like, it's going to involve about 200 people on the stage. It includes 100 children. These children are being taught by 3 pianists of mine. They're being taught a couple of songs, and they're going to do it with the big chorus. I have a chorus, a strings, a big band, all on stage at the same time. And it's going to be at the Manhattan Center, which is on 34th Street.
December 15th, Barry Harris at Manhattan Center.
I'm celebrating my 60th birthday.
60th birthday.
And then also it's dedicated, I wanted to just say, to the lady who always called you for me, the jazz baroness who died last year. I don't know if she used to call you all the time.
Fabulous. What was her name again?
Nika.
Right.
Yeah, she used to call you all the time.
Kathleen, what do you want to say?
I have a question, Barry.
Yes, go ahead.
Because you're not doing the show until December 15th, next Saturday, which is December 9th, we're hosting a Christmas party for children coming from Harlem, PS 133. We need a piano player.
Let me tell you. You know what? Coming here let me just tell you, coming here was the hardest thing I had to do today because I haven't finished any of the music.
Okay.
And I have less than 2 weeks now to finish the music. I've got the singers together. See, I started out with the singers way early. I got the singers together. Now I have to put all the music around the singers, and I haven't finished the band music.
We'll create one for you. We'll get you good piano
Okay.
something, right?
You'll get a ton of
I'll turn you on to somebody.
We'll be watching.
We'll talk about it.
We'll be watching Betsy Osmond on her TV show called what?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on
And
with
we'll
Betsy
be
Osmond?
down there for a haircut someday. We'll be
Great.
reading How to Talk to the People You Love, and we'll be
I don't.
listening to the music
I have
of
another
Barry
one.
Harris all night on the radio because he's a beautiful man. And coming up, some beautiful excitement known as the main event.
Right.
Stay with us.